So when they create these vibrations with sound, it creates geometric patterns.
That is just crazy.
Yeah. But
Is that the plates you were talking about?
This
Yeah.
is a smaller version of the one,
Yeah, we're probably thinking about the same one because
Yeah.
it's just a larger plate, but
but it's the same thing.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
yeah.
cool.
And you're probably only seeing, with this, you're seeing like a two-dimensional version of what it's really doing. So it's going to be some kind
Yeah.
of three-dimensional
That's
vibration.
True. I never thought of that, but that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really neat though.
I mean, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because I did this research on my own time, but you have to start being able to understand some really intense stuff to even know what they're talking about. So I kind of dropped the study, but like within the atom, there's like a single strand of vibration, and it holds the stuff together, and that's how things are created. And it's like if vibration and sound can change the way that sand moves, can change these atoms and their movement and everything like that. It's like, that's what we're made up of,
Yeah.
like it's just what effect does it actually
Maybe that's
having on us?
the visceral effect that we feel sometimes with music. Maybe that's the reason.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
It helps me process emotion. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'll get into like this mindset, and sometimes it takes days, and I'll just listen to, I don't know. Isn't it funny how the music kind of finds you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know.
Like scientists don't really understand consciousness or how that works exactly, but also, music is a wave. It's a wave, and then a lot of things at the atomic level, the quantum level, are wave functions. There's some type of a wave function that, and there's different theories on what that is or how it works, but all particles are not really physical particles. They're fields of energy.
Yeah.
And then you have, and then they interact with this wave function at different levels.
Yeah.
So it's got I'm sure music affects everything on that quantum level too,
Right.
and affects our brains in certain ways. So I'm sure there's probably a tremendous amount to it that we don't understand, and we haven't been able to really get into yet. I think eventually we'll probably understand it, but
Yeah, which is cool. It's like, just playing piano or picking up a guitar. You're tapping into something that we don't even know the extent of it in a way. And it's like, there's people who have spent their whole lifetime doing it, and they feel, like they have all this music, and yet in a similar way, they're the same as somebody who's just picking up a guitar for the first time. And they're all, like tapping into something that's still way bigger than everybody,
Right.
Yeah.
what I think is fascinating about musicians is, musicians that do practice a lot, and they've been doing it for a long time, and they master an instrument. It's like that instrument has become a part of an extension of their body. Like it's really a part of them, so they don't have to think about it, and then they're able to freely express those feelings and emotions and whatever that music that's being produced through that instrument is really the music from them. It's emanating from their body and translating, being expressed through that instrument, which is really fascinating.
Yeah.
It's almost, I believe that there will be a similar experience when we're able to put technology in our minds and control things. It'll be just like a more efficient instrument,
Yeah.
But it'll probably be the same type of feeling.
Yeah. That's a cool thought. That's awesome.
You guys got me thinking about like sound waves and music and frequencies, sort of as a way of maybe like, well, what you're saying, you're sort of talking around like being able to construct something with sound,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a subject that kind of comes up in science fiction for sure usually in the form of destruction, like in Dune with using sound there and stuff, but in other ways, like it's almost, and in how music affects us, like from the inside, it's almost like we're being formed with it in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to really say it right, but it's something like for music, for me, it's like I never liked playing covers or anything. I just wanted to express whatever that howl from the beyond is, whatever it is. I can't really put my finger on what it is. And I'm terrible. I'm a terrible musician, but like that feeling is really good, and I really liked that.
Yeah. Even if you're not good at it, it's still really it's very pleasurable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I bought a drum set a year ago, and I've been playing some for about a year, and I really like it. Like when you can really sink into it and keep going with it, and it starts to it's almost like it just starts to do its own thing.
Yeah.
And then every time you sit down and do it again, something new happens.
Right.
And it's really fascinating.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I actually like that more than the guitar. I've played the guitar for years, just off and on, not really trying to become a guitarist, but just have that interest in it. But then when I got the drums, there's something different about that actually feels right.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. You don't have any children yet, do you?
No.
I've got young kids, and so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to force any instrument on them, as far as one specific one. So we've got drums. They each have guitars. I'm like, it's there. It's a decoration at this point for them. But when they want to pick it up and do it, like who knows when they're going to catch that passion or what it's going to be like. So I've got different instruments in the house basically. So, and right now it's a lot of banging. And there's definitely some there's strumming and there's stuff going on. But this is a chance for them to kind of figure out instead of me telling them, hey, you need to learn this.
Right.
So it's kind of been interesting.
That's funny. I did the same thing. So I'm kind of like him. I just love music. Mm-hmm. So I'll just buy instruments and just hang them up. And then hopefully someone comes over that can use it.
Exactly.
And
that's awesome.
That's pleasing, But, but also my thought is when I was a kid, I was poor, so I didn't have access to these things.
True.
And I really wish I would have, because I'm sure I would have played something.
Yeah.
But I have a 4-year-old daughter, and she loves music. And so I've got, guitars, I have drums. I bought her a little keyboard. I actually she just started music lessons last week.
Nice.
And a tambourine.
And she, and she really enjoyed it. Like she, good friend of mine, Scott Johnson, shout out to Scott.
Nice.
He's a really good dude, he's a classically trained musician. And he's great with kids. Like, he sit down with her, and he's got a program he does and uses bells and the keyboard and stuff.
Nice.
And she loved it. She had a lot of fun. So I was excited about that, And so I don't know if she'll do anything with it, but at least she has the opportunity, like you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's exposed to it.
Yep.
And if there's something there that clicks, then she's not going to miss it.
Yeah. Which is, that's definitely a really good opportunity for kids to have as well.
Yeah.
We had a piano in our house, and my sisters took lessons. And they would always, play, reading the sheet music and playing through it. But it's almost like that them being forced to made them kind of fall out of love with it, which is a very common thing, which when you're talking about that, it's, if you fell out of love with, bowling, that's one thing, but it's a lot of people fall out of love with an instrument that they were forced to learn, where it's it didn't have to happen that way, so it's I watched that happen with my sisters, but I would sit down at the piano and do exactly what I did with guitar. It's just finding these notes and learning by ear kind of, and that was a journey within myself, if without being cheesy, whatever, but that was me. Nobody was telling me to, so I didn't have any animosity towards it. I was this is just an extension of my body in a way, so